I'm sure you probably know that Stephen Colbert's late night show has been canceled. Shocker. It turns out he's been losing them like $50 million a year, which is wild. Nobody's watching this show. And it's not just him. I would argue that a lot of the late night stuff is just down in the ratings. No one really watches this stuff anymore. It's just kind of a dead format. The guy in the suit behind the desk interviewing people. Number one, a lot of people don't really care about what celebrities have to say about anything anymore. Like, their influence is way down. So why would anybody tune in for it? Two, the guy is a propaganda mouthpiece. Never forget that stupid vax dance thing. Remember that vaccination dance that he did a couple of years ago where he was doing a choreography dance with a bunch of guys in needle suits and shit? Like, it was pure cringe. Like, that was not... Who's laughing at that? I gotta say. And, you know, for the most part, a lot of these guys just sit there and just talk about Trump nonstop. And I do think that it gets a little bit old. It's not really funny. It just comes off as hateful. But I can tell you one thing. Trump didn't get this show canceled. The show got itself canceled because nobody cares. Nobody tuned into it. But he's been saying the gloves are off. He's going to go even harder. Go ahead. No one cares. But to say Trump got this show canceled, easily disprovable, because South Park has went after Trump quite a bit in the past. If you remember, Mr. Garrison was like a Trump stand-in for the longest time. Well, the other day, yesterday, I believe, is when when the episode aired, South Park premiered their new season, season 27, and they went after Trump pretty hard. I have not watched the episode yet, but I guess they also roasted their own network, Paramount, NPR, AI, and Trump. And then I believe this is from the episode. Cartman's wearing a shirt that says woke is dead, and it's true. Woke is rapidly dying, and I think that is amazing. It's great. But a lot of people are upset that they trolled and made fun of Trump. And I got to say, like, who cares? They're allowed to do that. Trump isn't above satire. He's not above criticism. And sometimes he doesn't handle it that well sometimes. Like, look how he's handling the list and the man attached to it. Every time I really talk about that in depth, the video gets demonetized. But he hasn't handled that very well. And sometimes he gets a little mad about things. I think his best action here is to just ignore it or just say he found it funny. We'll see how that goes down. But I see a lot of conservatives on social media upset about this, and it's like, well, they've always went after they go after just about anybody. I don't know if they ever went after Biden. I don't know if they ever had the chance to be honest, because I feel like for the past couple of years, they've been regulated to making these special movies. Like these, you had the one where they made fun of Lizzo. These 90-minute movies. When is the last time they had a season? When was season 26 of South Park? February 8th, 2023, and it ended March 29th, 2023. And then I think after that, they went into doing those like specials for a while. There's something weird going on with the rights to streaming and something like that. I don't quite know exactly the details of it, but they really weren't allowed to do much for a while. And they were pretty pissed about it the other day. Talked about suing because they wanted to get their show out. And then they got a $1.5 billion deal or some shit like that. So I doubt you're going to see South Park get canceled. So this whole thing about Colbert whining and crying that he's getting canceled because of Trump is bullshit. Now, whether or not South Park gets backlash over this so much that it affects the ratings of the show, That could happen too. Because Trump does have a lot of fans. He has a big fan base. MAGA is huge. So, and maybe this will affect their ratings. I don't know, but they do have the right to make fun of him. Whether or not that has blowback, we'll see. But I think stuff like this also is kind of stupid. Like, it's dumb to come out and get angry about it. Now, they're saying Trump is seething over South Park mockery. I don't know if that's true. The White House apparently said something. But he hasn't on his social media as of right now. But I think that the response that they're doing here is kind of a mistake. The White House went on the offensive Thursday morning as an irate Donald Trump fumes over last night's South Park Season 27 premiere that depicted him as a Satan canoodling and less than well-endowed pompous bully, to put it mildly. The president is seething over the childish attack by South Park, an administration source tells Deadline this morning. However, as annoyed as POTUS is over Trey and Matt's cartoon depiction of him and a harshly mocking AI-generated PSA during the episode titled Sermon on the Mount that depicted the MAGA chief naked in the desert, the White House was not blindsided by the satire. With FCC approval of Skydance's drawn-out merger with Paramount, the administration was given a heads-up over the South Park premiere. I'm told whether that involved actually seeing a screener or merely a description of the extremely topical episode is unclear. In the food chain of events, Skydance was warned of the episode's content too. So here's what the White House says. On the other hand, with nothing yet from Trump himself on social media, the White House was more than eager to go on the record and on the counterattack. The left's hypocrisy truly has no end. I don't know if you could say that they're really leftist or right. I think they're honestly center or center left, to be fair. But to say like Matt and Trey are like radical leftists, I think that's a little much. I don't think so, because they were quite hard on woke for a long time and still are. So I think that's a little much. For years, they have come after South Park for what they have labeled as offensive content, but suddenly they are praising the show, White House Assistant Press Secretary Taylor Rogers told Deadline this morning. Just like the creators of South Park, the left has no authentic or original content, which is why the popularity continues to hit record lows. I don't know if that's true either. I feel like South Park is still pretty popular. Rogers added, this show has been relevant for over 20 years and is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas in a desperate attempt for attention. Yeah, I don't think so. They just paid $1.5 billion to keep this shit going. I don't think that's desperate. Come on, man. President Trump has delivered on more promises in just 6 months than any other president in our country's history, and no fourth-rate show can derail President Trump's hot streak. I think that they're just making fun of him, which, I mean, they are allowed to do. And like I said, whether or not that actually affects this show's ratings, we'll see. That could happen too. But like, this whole statement is a mistake. I think you just stay quiet, or you lean into it and say you found it funny. I think showing a little humility sometimes can go a long way. But these are just my opinions. Maybe you don't agree with me, but I think for the most part, South Park has always been pretty fair. I'll watch the episode myself. I've seen a bunch of clips, like the one with him and Satan. They used to do that with Saddam Hussein. And then I did see the PSA of him in the desert. They made him really fat. You know, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. I heard the episode wasn't very funny in general. So, who knows? But I do think saying that the show is desperately hanging on is a cope, because this is the deal that they received. An earlier version of this article said the creators of South Park will earn nearly $2 billion through their new Paramount deals. They will actually receive more than $1.25 billion. So it seems like they're pretty desperate to keep them on the show. So to say that the show is failing, I don't think so. I think the show is actually doing quite well. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and blindly say that it's true. No one's above criticism, and I think the best way to handle this is to show a little humility. I think that would go a long way, and it would probably change getting more episodes centered on him. But I'm also going to say making that the center of your comedy probably won't help, because we've seen all of this before. We've seen everyone do the fat thing, the small penis thing. Like, none of this shit is new. So maybe it's intentional that they're trying to get him to talk about them, which I think is kind of a thing. I think they want him to. That's why his best response is probably no response. And whoever that guy was the guy talking about the Trump thing at the White House, you should stop as well. Stop. Don't give Deadline and a lot of these other outlets the headlines they're looking for. Just let South Park do its thing. It's always done. And, yeah. Comments on this video will be interesting. I want to hear what people have to say. What are your thoughts on all of this? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And also check out my comic campaign. There's 3 days left. 3 days left of the campaign. So don't wait too long. Like I said before, cover C is really low. This morning, I was told we had about 11 left, so there might be less than that now. I get updates in the morning every day on what we have left because we just printed it a couple of days ago. It's fresh off the press. So we're going to start sending these out very soon. The CGC copies will take a little bit because we have to send those and get them slabbed and graded in Florida. By the way, I think we've only got 3 left for that. So there's only a couple copies of this cover left. This was always going to be the limited cover. So don't wait too long. Also, on the other covers, we're running low on A and B as well. Same with all the CGCs. We don't have a lot of CGC set-aside books. Got a couple. I think we've got 2 or 3 left of cover D. So don't wait too long. We're going to close it out Saturday night on Flashcast, so check that out. We'll also be reviewing Fantastic Four that night. Cover D is only $17, so jump on it. I think you're going to love it. It's a fun action-packed book. Just trying to entertain you and have some fun. So check it out. Link in the description. And with that, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
The year is 1945. World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River. Even now, the clash between freedom and tyranny is about to boil over. Somewhere in North Africa, 2 American flyboys are soaring high on a reconnaissance mission, searching for clues to a peculiar new obsession, with the occult gripping the Nazi high command.